$17 million. 17 million reasons to not test free agency and stay in Minnesota for the next 8 years after this upcoming season. Kirill Kaprizov just became the highest paid player in the NHL this morning as he signs an 8-year extension at the big old number just mentioned, $17 million per year. For those whose mothers skipped Tylenol while pregnant, that's a grand total of $136 million. That's a lot of dough, and I don't know who's more excited, Minnesota fans, Bill Guerin, or Connor McDavid. Listen, I don't like to make everything hockey related about McJesus, but if that pending UFA after this season didn't wake up at the cottage and start chopping some morning wood when he got the news, I don't know what'll do it for him. Scary times, Edmonton. But back to Minnesota, this is fantastic to see. Kaprizov, probably the best player in Wild franchise history. No, I'm not exaggerating. He's already top 5, sitting at 5, in fact, in franchise history points at 386 in 319 games. And if he goes the next season at least a point a game, he'll pass one of my favorites, Marian Gaborik, to be second on their all-time list, chasing only my also beloved Mikko Koivu, who, for what it's worth, is also my favorite Koivu, but again, he's a couple seasons away from catching him, but with another 8 years, plus this next one, the record has got to be his unless he gets traded. Really, Kaprizov's only comparison in franchise history is Marian Gaborik. I love Gaborik, and the streets will always remember the day Hasek told him he could fly, but Kaprizov is better. It's just that simple. Come to Halifax, challenge me to a donair eating contest if you don't think so. But what you really love to see here is a relatively small market team retaining huge talent. And if you haven't been keeping up with the Kaprizov drama this past few weeks, Elliot Friedman, whose word I trust, came out and claimed, even though he would never be able to prove it, that another team was tampering with the potential Kaprizov deal and promising more money. Listen, Elliot is not the kind of person who says things like that unless he has a reason to. He doesn't throw out random Paul Bissonnette rumors. Had this been a Mitch Marner type of situation, Minnesota would have been screwed. Toronto's a large market team. It seems like Marner had some lasting loyalty, so they were at least able to strong-arm Vegas for Nick Waugh. Probably a bit messier for the Wild. Thankfully, we don't have to find out. Also, Toronto didn't build their entire team around Mitch. They chose the mustache, wise choice, whereas Minnesota is built around Kaprizov. They're a well-oiled machine when he's healthy, and without him, they really stumble, especially when it comes to scoring. Last year, they were a sub-500 team when he wasn't there, and with him, their win percentage was over 60. Math don't lie. Let's talk about negatives. First, when I search KAR to type his name in, Caroline Levick comes up. Do not like being surprised by that mug, certainly. Second, and more serious, because it's actually hockey-related, we do have his health. He's had lots of little dings here and there. He misses time and has only played one season where he got to that 80 game mark with 81. Still, never technically a full year. Last season was in fact his worst. He played only 41 games after having to get surgery halfway through, though I mean, he still scored 56 points and was good to go for the playoffs where he put up 9 and 6. That's a knock against him. You want to talk about price? It looks bad, but really, we're entering a new era of the NHL when it comes to player salaries. Jay Fresh pointed out that even with a modest growth, which the league very well may outpace, the cap averages out to what a $12.7 million cap hit would look like this season, which seems very fair. Very, very possible the NHL, as I mentioned, heavily outpaces that growth as well. But yeah, Wild fans have to be happy. Minnesota, they really get to keep their superstar. That's one thing people have said about Minnesota for so long. But yeah, prepare for sticker shock as we look at some of these future NHL contracts. In a few years, we might be talking about how much of a deal and a steal this was. Crazy stuff, but that means the league is growing and in a healthy spot, and that they're shoving more gambling ads down our mouth holes, right? Eye holes, I guess, not mouth. Anyway, till next time, bye-bye.